Hi, this is Natalie Lander, voice of Kinsey, Tara Branford, Stargirl, and many others. You are listening to a W2Mnet podcast. You can visit W2Mnet.com for other podcasts about entertainment, video games, sports, and wrestling.
TheChairShot.com. Always use your head.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Talk to Keki. My name is Mathew, and I am your host. And joining me is a man who likes to be late, delayed by a day, watches NXT with his cool new friends instead of recording. Ethan, what's up, buddy?
Not my cool new friends, just my ex.
Yeah, your cool new friends, just still.
I know, I'm sorry, man. I didn't even get the fuck.
It's alright, it's cool.
I didn't even get the fuck, man. Damn. I feel bad.
It's cool. It's okay. Teasing you. We do that here, folks.
We do. Konnichiwa! What's up, everybody? I hope everyone... God damn, my fucking mic is all fucking up. My bad. Hope everyone out there is good tonight. We have a fucking show for you crazy motherfuckers today, don't we, Mathew?
Oh yeah, we got two special episodes tonight. Episode 5 and then 5.5.
Why not 6, Mathew?
That's next week.
I thought you were going to give me more than that. I thought you were going to be like, because we got so much shit to talk about. We didn't want to fucking inundate.
All right, part 1 is the season finale, finally, of everything done in spring. Spring is over.
Everything that I was behind on, I caught up on this week, ladies and gentlemen.
Somehow.
I busted my ass.
He deserves a cookie, folks.
I deserve a fucking cookie, goddammit.
Oh yeah, we're going to be talking about the finales and the rest of the shows that happened the last week for part 1. And then part 2, we are going to do the Spring Awards with definitely a lot of categories, our top anime lists.
Indeed.
And then we'll start next week with the horrible season of summer. I'll have a good. I hate the summer season in general, not the animes. We'll talk about.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the animes. I was like, dude, what the fuck?
No. They're great, and we're going to talk about them next week. Everything we've seen so far, but we're going to save that because spring is coming to an end, and we're going to give it its own special day. I mean, 2 parts.
I'm in Florida, so spring came to an end back in like fucking February.
I'm talking about for the fucking shows. Calm down. All right, before we get to that, we got some news. Quite a bit of them. And I'm excited to share about them. First, on Netflix, July 22nd, there's going to be a movie called Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop. It's going to be airing on Netflix worldwide, not just Japan.
That shocked me when I saw that. It said it's going in theaters, and I was like, oh, okay, so we're going to have to wait. And it said also airing on the same day in Japan on Netflix across the world. I was like, whoa, fucking awesome. Because, normally with all these fucking movies that air in Japan, like, okay, cool, they air in Japan, they get a lot of play, you get hype, and then you won't ever see them unless you either A, buy the DVD or Blu-ray, right. B, Pirate Life, or C, you don't fucking watch it.
That or just wait 2 years for it to come out.
Yeah, basically, because it's very rare that Japanese movies are released in movie theaters here in America. Only like the super duper hype ones, like Josie, which we'll be watching on Monday, and I can't wait.
We're covering next week.
Can't wait, but yeah, that was Josie is very surprising as well that it came out. Like to me, it's kind of like on that same I guess tier as Bubble, but I don't know. Whatever. Either way. We just wish more Japanese movies would debut in America. We like them.
But yeah, we're very excited for that. We're definitely going to watch it, and we'll talk about it the week after for we do our next episode. We are doing a movie next week, so get ready for that too. We don't know how long a movie review will be, but we're definitely going to add it with our summer seasonal episodes. Speaking of movies, Isekai Quartet got announced for a movie.
Isekai Quartet.
Exactly. There's no release date yet. We just know that's happening next year.
2022.
We just don't know if it's going to be the finale instead of another season. We will find out when they do it.
The finale, or you don't know?
I can't tell if it's like going to be the conclusion for the series. Since everyone's getting shows again. ReZero had their second season. Overlord's getting their season 4. Tanya the Evil got announced for season 2. We're just waiting on Konosuba now. Falling behind.
This is true.
And then Shield Hero in October.
Indeed. Can't wait. Can't fucking wait.
All right. Now for the other side, we're gonna talk about adaptations that got confirmed. We'll start with the sports anime because who the fuck cares? Blue Lock. No, I like sports animes, but I don't know about soccer.
I don't know about soccer. We both love Megalobox and boxing since we're both,
Oh yeah.
And then of course fucking Haiku, which I haven't seen, but Haiku always gets rave reviews.
Oh yeah.
They have other ones. They got a lot of great sports anime.
Tiger Mask, and then Tiger Mask W when that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, for those who are sports fans, there you go. If you have read the manga, you should be getting this. I don't know. Was there a release date or no?
2022.
All right, so sometime next year. And now the big one. I am happy for this one. Vinland Saga Season 2 got announced finally. I'm a happy camper. This was my favorite. 2019. So
it's on my list. I need to watch it. I haven't watched it as of yet, but it is on my list.
It is.
We'll watch it. We'll get
so fucking good. Lovely characters. If you love the whole Viking Norse thing, it's great. So much stuff. So there we go. Definitely worth checking out. It'll probably still be on Amazon Prime, like season 1. But I'm okay with it. We don't know the release date yet or how much of it is going to cover.
Didn't they say 2022?
I didn't see a date, but I'm going to assume yes. It is in production, though.
It is in production. Yeah, so we'll say 2022, maybe at the latest 2023. We'll see.
Because all of season 1 was the prologue.
Yeah. The prologue, wow.
Yes. That was like the first 40 chapters of the manga, but the prologue.
Jesus Christ, dude.
So, and I love the manga, so I am excited of how far they're going to go with this one.
Alrighty,
we're going to get to the meat of matter after this little brief commercial break. We're going to talk about not the finales yet, but the stuff that has happened in the past week. Stay tuned after this.
Why should you visit thechairshot.com? Thechairshot.com is your home for hard-hitting reviews, news, opinion, and analysis with attitude. Why? Because you're smarter than the average fan. Thechairshot.com. Always use your head.
All right, we're back. I think I lost my co-host.
I'm still here. You said silence.
I said we're back. I said we were back. Damn it.
Oh, gotta love a fledgling podcast, ladies and gentlemen. No cohesion whatsoever, but we'll make it. We make it go through, y'all. At least we got chemistry. We got that much going for us.
Alrighty. We're gonna start with the non-finales first. Get those out of the way.
The non-finales. Wait, do you want to just go straight into Wonder Egg? Because that's.
I mean, sure, at this time.
I mean, bro, let's just start off with Wonder Egg because fucking that's the kind of the. Oh wait, well you know what?
I was saying we were talking about the bottom tier and then Revengers, and then we're gonna get to and finish.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You're good. I forgive you.
God damn it.
Alrighty. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the stuff that it's kind of over, not really over, still continuing on. First, the second OVA of Bottom Tier Character 2. It's kind of a flashback with how those girls became friends or secretly lesbians. We don't know yet.
I really think that Mimi and the other girl, I think they might be lesbians. They might be a couple.
I can see it. They're cute. They're cute together.
Yeah.
That's how Mimi likes to make her blush, and then how very forward she is.
Yeah, I totally see her, at least being, bi. Which is cool.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, it was like a couple minutes longer, but still 13 minutes.
Not as good as the other one, I would say, if I'm being honest.
Well, no, they didn't have Fuko.
No Fuko-chan. Well, there's no Tomazaki, the fucking characters.
No. We just need to know how they became friends, and then the fireworks.
You know what would have been great if they would have like at the end of this and like shown like a little like blip or like preview of like season 2 or confirmed season 2 or something,
Oh no, they're gonna keep us on our toes.
Oh god. All right.
But
I give it a 3 out of 5.
No, that seems about right. Definitely, it was cute. I will say it was cute. Just seeing them all be like how they became friends.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, what's her name again? The orange hair.
Aoi.
Oh yeah, that's how she just started slowly came out of her shell.
Oh no, are you talking about the little girl?
Yes, the little girl.
Oh no, I forgot. Fuck, I forgot her name because she's not.
No, not the Two-Face one. The other one.
No, yeah. I forgot her name. But yeah,
All for being sexually harassed for a little bit.
yeah, that's all it takes. Just a little bit of sexual harassment for it, you know.
Only in Japan, folks.
Only in Japan, because in America you will go to jail because of Me Too.
Exactly. All righty. There was another OVA. We saw it a month and a half late, but Love is War. Let's say it was great. Go watch it.
Oh, good God, it was fucking hilarious. I gave it 5 stars. It was fucking
my
hilarious.
favorite OVA in a while.
It was so hilarious, guys. Please don't watch this in public. Please.
No, and remember, blame Shueisha, like Ishigami did.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it in public. Don't watch it with children. Maybe if you watch it with your wife or husband, you may have sex afterwards. Just saying. At minimum, you will fucking die laughing because I certainly died laughing.
But yeah, a lot of great, hilarious stuff. If you love the show, if you read the manga, anything, it's just hilarious all around. We just wanted to get that out of the way.
5 stars. God damn it.
Oh yeah, 5. Unfortunately, there was no new episode of 2 Year Eternity.
There was not this week. No.
That made me sad. I want to know more Fushi and his depression after the loss of Gugu.
Well, Fushi's gonna try and punch the fucking his the what's it called, the guy. I forget his name now.
The creator.
Yeah, the creator. He's gonna try and punch him. I saw that.
And Granny's gonna be there.
Obacha.
Granny will fuck around. She will slap people around and don't give a crap.
Beat that
She'll
ass.
She'll throw hands, folks.
Beat that ass with a stick and then sodomize you with it afterwards.
And pegs her husband on the side.
Might be pegging beer sama. You don't
know. Oh no, he definitely is.
Oh boy, this is such a fucking great episode.
All right, we're gonna have a fun time here, folks. We're gonna be tired. We're gonna be exhausted, but we're gonna be satisfied after.
Indeed. So
we have Tokyo Revengers.
We do have Tokyo Revengers. This week was a great week of Tokyo Revengers. We see a recap of what happened with Takemichi and Hina. We see the funeral, which is very sad. Very, very sad, where he just stands there and prays and prays and prays, and Naoto just bawls. And then he reveals to Naoto his plan. And so, he's fucking, Naoto's like, all right, whatever, that's cool. But then, before that, I'm sorry, we saw another emotional moment between Hina's mom and Takemichi, where,
right.
What's it called? She gave Takemichi a present, and the present was the charred necklace. And she told Takemichi that, man, Hina really loved you because she held on to that so dearly. And I want to know why they broke up. Like, there's so many questions of how did he leave the gang? Why is he still a NEET in this present life? Why did he break up with Hina? Like, oh God, there's so many other questions that we need to find out, and hopefully we will get answers to. But in any case, they go back to the apartment. He shakes Naoto's hand. He goes back in time, and they're in a bathhouse, and they're swinging dicks and laughing and joking and being teenage boys in a public bathhouse. However, Takemichi's plan goes to hell because his plan was, I'm going to be the third commander now that Pachin is in jail. And they say at the end of the episode, like, we're going to go meet the new third commander. And
Kisaki.
It probably will be Kisaki. Yeah, I would imagine so.
But yeah, this episode revealed that he's officially the main antagonist of the story. That's everything going on.
We forgot to mention that Draken-kun is in fucking what's it called, on death row because he killed somebody at the behest of Kisaki.
Right, and no Mikey still.
And there's still no Mikey, and and it was very nice and heartwarming to see that Draken is still kind at heart, and he got caught up for a stupid mistake. He admits that he's trash. I mean, if you get a head tattoo by the age of 10, I think you probably are considered trash. But that's neither here nor there. Yes, I do judge you if you have a head tattoo a little bit. Just saying. Anyway, yeah, so that was really nice as well. We got a lot of information because of that. He was very open, as much as he could, I guess, given the circumstances before they left us on the cliffhanger of how Kisaki really is. So, yeah. looking forward to next week's episode. Looking forward to the series as a whole. It's a 5-star series, like I mentioned before. Yeah.
Yeah, and they definitely changed the ED, but not the OP. So I don't know if the OP is still going to stay.
I didn't even, something. I didn't really pay attention to the first ED.
But yeah, it's definitely different. But we got a new one this time around. It's not a bad beat. I got to listen to the full length.
Indeed. Oh, speaking of ED, because it's not on my list real quick. Boruto's OP and ED, really good. The episode of Boruto, by the way, this week, really fucking good. Highly recommended. Sorry. We talked about ED and OPs and shit, so.
I didn't ask you a goddamn thing about Boruto.
Motherfucker, let me fucking plug my anime.
All right. At least that review's out of the way.
Fucking hell. Whatever.
But this was definitely a cool down episode.
Kind of.
Again, very sad moments. They got a bathhouse scene for some comical effects because they're delinquents. And again, everything's still the plot thickens, as they say.
Indeed, that's probably not the only thing that thickened in the back house, but that's fine.
I mean, judging by some of the people in the bathhouse, you never know.
You never know. It's Japan,
one of them is definitely packing.
Anyway.
Anywho. Alrighty, it's time for the finales.
Oh, we got a list of them, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot of them.
Some I do by myself. Well, one I do by myself. Two by himself. All right. Should we talk about it?
Yes, let's start off with the major one that happened. Technically, something, ladies and gentlemen, we wanted to, again, this is the spring finales. However, because it's so popular, because it's so big, because it's such a topic going on, we're going to start with the first anime that debuted for the summer season, that concluded the summer season, which technically didn't happen in the summer season. We're going to start with an anime that came out actually in the in winter of this year. One of the animes that was critically acclaimed, beloved by so many, that had the potential to be an all-time great, and unfortunately didn't live up to that bill. If you haven't figured it out by now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Wonder Egg Priority. Egg, it's season. I'm sorry, not season. It's episode 12 officially to the season. It's season finale,
which was the series finale.
Which was the series finale, not a seasonal finale, but it was announced that it is a series finale. We can just say the first 22 minutes, I think it was 22 minutes or some shit, was a review of the previous season, and then we get into the actual episode. So if you want to go ahead, Matthew,
all right,
let us know what you think.
All right,
break it all down.
I'm trying to not get fucking angry.
Anger is a widely expressed view of this show, so you wouldn't be the only one, I'm sure.
We were warned about it was not a real hour, just an hour TV time with 26 minutes.
It wasn't even. It was 46 minutes.
And it was 26 of those minutes were a recap, and the 20 or less were just
an episode.
Yeah, it was just an episode. It was all that for just an episode.
I mean, we got a lot of questions answered. So not really though. We got more. All right. So let me go through the positives and negatives for my opinion. Positives is we find out the true story between Sawaki and what the fuck is the girl's name? Koito. Yeah, we find out the true story with Koito and Sawaki. They made Sawaki a good guy. They made Koito a complete bitch. They basically said that she accused him of rape, which is very serious. And I was reading one of the let me break that piece down really quick. I was reading a review from one of the anime websites, and they mentioned how much the writer mentioned how much that part itself pissed him off because of the fact that the whole season made it seem like, oh, he's a rapist, he abused her, whatever the case is, and then they chalked it up to, oh, she was lying, she was just falsely accusing him, which is very sad in that reality. I mean, we don't tend to harp on the fact that does happen in reality, where some girls are just, they have their issues and they'll falsely accuse someone. But given the seriousness and the narrative of the show, he was pissed off that would be how they solve that particular story. I don't disagree with him in that stance. I personally didn't mind that I guess that was not the least of my issues, or not the worst of my issues, I should say, with the show.
It just
But in
seemed
it,
anticlimactic, but I'll get to that in a bit.
a little bit, yeah. So basically, um, we find out that Koito falsely accused him, and she threatened to commit suicide. And when she was just doing her own thing, she slips and falls, and that's how she dies. So she doesn't actually commit suicide. She basically fucked up and busted her ass, and she died. So that is also, I agree with you, Matthew, very anticlimactic, kind of a silly fucking end. We also get the answer in terms of the girls. They do come back. The girls do come back, but the girls aren't the same way that the girls left them, which is kind of a kick in the dick, or a kick in the pussy, whatever you want to say. Basically, the girls come back and they have no recollection of their past selves. Koito scorns Ai and becomes a complete cunt. Like, she becomes a villain basically at this point. And she basically doesn't know that Ai exists, and that goes for all the other girls. The girl who Rika wanted to save doesn't know who Rika is and actually loves another idol who Rika doesn't, she doesn't care about her, but still they don't know about her. The girl that Momo saves, she falls in love with another girl who's an older student.
No,
And
it was a guy.
was it a guy, really?
Yeah, it was a guy.
Oh, wow. So she's straight. So in this instance, she comes back straight because, again, that was the lesbian
Well,
angle that
again,
they
Momo
did.
always got confused of a boy, even though she
No,
wasn't.
I knew Momo was a girl. And again, by the end, she accepts the fact that she wants to be feminine, but she still accepts the fact that she's also gay, which is, a wonderful topic of discussion, a wonderful point of the show. But in any case, she basically loses the love of her life. She moves on to a guy, and whatever. And then the biggest news, and this is where the story kind of takes a turn, is that Nehru, well, we get to see Nehru's sister. Nehru's sister's still a bitch, but we find out the reality of Nehru's circumstance, and it's quite an interesting revelation. Matthew, pick up from there because I think you can
Well,
kind
well, first, I tries to go see Nehru, and she's not home because you only saw her that one time. Like, with, hey, take care of my pet rat. I'll be right back.
yeah, Arthur.
Then you find out she's gone, and then she thought she saw Nehru at the company, and then turns out it wasn't her. It was the younger sister that she saved.
Mm-hmm.
But you find out that she's gone missing in action after that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then basically she gets there, her and Rika. What was that girl's name that died? Higehiro.
Kotobuki.
Kozubuki, yes. Yeah, you find out she's there. It's like, oh, how are you alive? Like, no, it's the other world me. And the whole time I'm like, how did she get here?
Yeah, that's not explained. There's so many loopholes.
Because she, I don't think she's the one that Nehru was saving.
No, she was trying to save her sister. She was trying to save her sister.
Exactly. So I'm trying to figure out how the hell do you get there? Was there like an interdimensional portal type of thing, like Rick and Morty style, or did she just teleport? Did she take the bus? Was there the other dimension across town?
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people that like kind of, I guess maybe say like maybe she's like an angel because she mentioned that she flirted with death. She wanted to find out the inner workings of death, so perhaps she transcended death in that instance. Perhaps.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. They didn't explain it.
There's so many.
And apparently in that reality, oh, I made Nehru. Surprise.
Yeah. So for the surprise of everybody watching, Nehru is an android herself that Kotobuki made.
Like Frill.
Like Frill. This is explained after the secretary brings Ai and brings Rika and Momo over to
Momo was out there.
Oh, Momo was that? It was just I and Rika.
Yeah,
Momo was there. Momo was there.
After the karaoke, that was it. She was gone.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
This is my stop. I'm not seeing you guys again. Bye-bye. Fuck y'all.
And that's kind of what happened, but we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, so it's I and Rika. They go to Nehru's house, apartment, and you see Nehru's assistant there. Her assistant reveals to I and Rika the last dream that Nehru had, where she freed her sister, and we see she's about to fight them. And before she starts fighting all three of them, she puts her her pet away, and they also say, like, are you stupid? Do you realize that if you sacrifice your pet, you can come back alive? You can go back alive? And she's like, it doesn't matter, I'll fight you all. And as the fight's about to happen, Frill pops up, and Frill goes to her and says, you're just like me. You understand me. Let's be friends. Let's be humans. And I takes her up on her offer, and that's where she disappears. She disappears to wherever Frill and the other girls are hanging out to. And, excuse me, it's not, that's the first thing. It's not explained. Like, is she fighting them? Is she going to kill them? Is she going to join them to try and kill the girls? Like, what's happening? We don't know. But regardless, the dream turns off, and Rika is furious, literally furious. Yeah. She goes, nope, I'm not going to risk my life for a fucking robot. And she dips. She fucking dips. And I goes after her. I said she'll be right back. And they try to work it out, and it's never really worked out. So,
yeah, they didn't go back.
They didn't go back. And
she threw her phone away.
No, so I was gonna get to that. So basically, I goes back home. This revelation has really startled her. She's, lost and confused. And throughout the time, as we mentioned, when she disappeared, I would call Nehru, call her. Nothing. She got out the shower, and Nehru calls I, and I stares at the phone, doesn't know what to do. And she tosses the fucking phone off of her ledge, basically, and that's it, And then we see in a very sad moment. I felt very sad watching that, when she realized the next day what she'd done. She didn't go to school. She just cried in her mom's lap, and she's like, I did a bad thing. And her mom was so accepting of her. I felt that was one of the most powerful moments of the show, rather, not the series, but the show itself, or the episode. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. One of the most powerful moments of the episode is seeing just, a 14-year-old girl crying in her mom's lap because she's confused and scared and lonely.
Yeah, after being distant from her, like,
after
the majority of the series.
Yeah, it's really, really, really sad. We don't get a follow-up on what happens with Sawaki and Ai's mother. And then we move into the final stage of the episode. The final stage of the episode is the girls disconnect from each other. Ai disconnects from Rika and Momo. They kind of go their separate ways. There's no hatred. There's no beef. Just
we don't know that.
We disconnect. Well, yeah, we don't know that, but I don't suspect there is. I think they would have mentioned that or left some sort of undertone of some sort of beef. But I'm gonna go on a limb and say there's not. But again, that was another thing that I read in that same piece where the writer was pissed off because of the false rape accusation. He mentioned that it does happen in life where you'll go separate ways. You may drift apart from people, and there's not a matter of I don't like somebody. It's just that's the way the winds of life took you. And
just try and move on from that life. They did try, but
yeah, and that's fine. And I mentioned that in the episode, that she's like, no matter what, even if we don't talk, we still shared all these moments in that summer that we'll never forget, and we'll forever be connected because of that. And I appreciate them. So it was a very sad goodbye. I transfers to another school now that she's not friends with Rika and I anymore, or Rika, Nehru, and Momo. She's not friends with them anymore. The Sawaki situation is resolved. So she transfers to a new school. And one day, as she's walking home from school alone, she looks at a gacha machine, and the gacha machine floods her brain and her soul with memories of the girls and memories of Nehru. And she runs over to the Aka's house, and the Akas are happy. They're like, "Oh, are you gonna fight? Are you gonna fight? Are you gonna fight?" And Aka says, "Yeah," and she says, "Yeah," and she pulls out an egg. And she looks at the camera and says, Ai is back. And she does her little like peace sign with her happy face. And that's the end of the series. And
it's like, I'm back. Cleverworks. The fuck you are.
Oh my God. So you're going to go over the same things. You know what? No, actually, your review is going to be far more entertaining than my review, because I tend to take this show actually really, really, really seriously, because it really means a lot to me. So
I know. I did too.
Go ahead, Matthew. Go ahead and let loose.
All right, I'm going to say this. Like, everything first. Like, before I get to the episode. This series was great. This had literally all the tools to be considered an all-time great down the road.
It was a 5-star series. I gave it 5 stars. The series itself, I gave it 5 stars.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm going to get to that in a bit. Like it was important, like when they talk about suicide, and then how each like the girls that they were saving, it all felt something. Like I saved girls that were bullied, Momo saved girls that were sexually harassed, Rika saved girls that killed themselves after idolizing someone. And with Neru, it's just people who wanted something and there were consequences. And all like they've all experienced this in like some sort of fashion. And then again, like there's all those little nitpick tiny details, and then you like now they can decide whether to be fully sci-fi or fantasy. As I figured, when it started, it seemed like a fantasy psychological horror. that was mature rated.
Yeah,
and then you get science involved in it, and it's just like, where's the direction?
Yeah.
It's like, again, it was starting out great, but the very last few episodes, that's when it started to lose the plot. And then everything got rushed. And didn't help when episode 8 was a recap. And then you find out why, because they were overburdened with everything in the studio, with Promised Neverland Season 2, Horimiya, I believe. And again, like they took on a lot of projects around that.
Hold on. I want to pause that real quick because of the fact that you're right. They had Horimiya and they had the second season of Promised Neverland. They destroyed Promised Neverland, another show that was critically acclaimed, had all the potential, had all the hype going into the season, and they fucked it in the ass without permission and without lube. They bastardized, raped, sodomized that fucking show and sent it to fucking oblivion. The single worst season of anime I've seen in my 3+ years of watching seasonal anime. The fucking most disappointing end to an anime I've ever seen. The most disappointing fucking way a show concluded. The most rushed. Every negative connotation that you could probably think of was the second season of Promised Neverland. And you know what? When that happened, I was pissed off. But at the same time, this Cloverworks is the studio. Cloverworks, they gave us Horimiya. Fantastically done, critically acclaimed, the 5-star anime about love and finding yourself and escaping your harsh reality to be with the girl of your dreams. And we see the other relationships. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful fucking rom-com, right? And they did that anime justice. And they were also working on Wonder Egg, and Wonder Egg, again, for everything that Mathew said, was powerful, was emotional. It made you think, it made you feel. And again, these were important.
These were important topics.
So if you're gonna fuck over a completely great anime, at least they did Horimiya justice for sure. And except for the recap episode, and I understand where you're coming from with the plot, Mathew, but I feel that they did the other 10 episodes that they aired. They did it justice, and I'm not gonna, I'm not as big of a negative Nancy, I guess, from that standpoint when it came to the whole sci-fi thing with the mythology and all of that. Like, I thought that was a fairly interesting twist.
The mythology stuff I got, but it was just like, there's no way in hell you're gonna do this in 12 episodes.
I agreed,
especially when you had a recap a little over halfway that didn't need it.
Agreed. There's so much that they could have fleshed out. Keep on going. That's fine.
As I say, that's the thing. Like, if they were, I get them stressed out. Like, the poor guys are working on it, being rushed and all that. That ain't right. For
this
one,
is an original, right? This isn't a manga. This is an original adaptation.
This is an original, yes. But like the poor workers, like they tried so damn hard,
and the story was phenomenal. Like, I still gave it 5 stars, even after the fact. I still gave it 5 stars with a recap episode, with them, as you saying, potentially, losing the plot toward the end. I still gave it 5 stars because the fucking story before that is fucking 6 stars. It's a 6-star story. Keep going.
Exactly. Yeah, I was getting to that. Like, if this was the case, if they overburdened them that much, I would have just sat down and said, okay, like, we have this project, let's just push it back to like fall 21 or just winter 2022. I would have waited. I wouldn't mind. Just actually like sit down, like, where do we want to go from here? But apparently also this is from rumors that it was not selling well in Japan. So that was another thing too. I could be wrong, but that's just some stuff I was reading.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they said we're just not going to continue it then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But what you call it? But yeah, it just left us on a big cliffhanger in the series, like not the special.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what's gonna happen?
The
Are they gonna
special was
fight?
what it was. I gave the special 3 out of 5 stars because even though it was half of it was a recap and the other half left us with a lot more questions and pissed us off, it was still good. There was nothing inherently
It
wrong.
just felt like it wasn't needed.
It's not that it wasn't needed; it's that it didn't do the series justice. It was fine.
I'm saying, like, do you really need a recap like 4 episodes
No. So
later after the first one?
You're saying
It's not Black Clover.
I agree. No, I agree. So here's all right. I'll let you keep going, but I just want to interject with this and say that I think you're saying that you wanted them to without the recap and then wait for another season for them to fully dedicate
For hell,
themselves.
they could just taken a week off, saying we're not gonna do an episode. We're gonna regroup.
Yeah. So I think what they should have done is they should have done 11 episodes, right? They should have done the first 7, and instead of episode 8 being a recap, they should have just tried to keep on going, right? I agree with you. They should have definitely waited until they didn't have all their eggs in different baskets. They should have been able to put all their eggs in this particular basket. Put all your eggs in this basket, do 11 episodes, right? Where you do the first 7, instead of a recap episode on number 8, keep going with 9 and 10 and 11. And then for the 11th episode, instead of having a recap here for episode 12, maybe, or you know what, maybe they can extend it. They can even do like a 12th episode, like how you have like an 11 and then like an 11.5. So you do 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, right? And then 11.5, make it a recap if you want to, or no, actually no, 11, no, keep on going, that's fine. So keep on going 1 through 11,
and
then episode 12, make episode 12 like a recap. You know what I mean? You could do episode 12 or instead of having an episode 12, make it an episode 11.5. 11.5 is a recap.
Air that before the actual special.
Yeah, so 86 has done this. 86 basically did 11 episodes. They released a 12th episode, and it was a recap episode because of the fact they're going to do a second core. So
same with Vivi.
So what you want to do then is after you've released episode 11.5, which is really episode 12, what you could do then is you can do a second core where you can flesh it out more, or B, if they had the funding, and I pray, I don't know the way they could have found it, but they should have done a movie. If you want to make a decisive end to this series, do a fucking movie. Do a movie. Make maybe the first 10 minutes of it be like a recap of like the final pieces of episode 11, and then just go into like however long the movie would be to fully flesh out the story.
I feel like at this point you probably could do it in an hour and a half.
You could an hour and a half movie. Make it a movie. And I guarantee you, if you made it a movie where you spent the time, took the effort, and gave us what you gave us in that, or well, not even, if you just want to go straight from the battle, that's for me, that's my biggest point of contention is with the way they ended the show. Like I saying, like I'm back, and she does her peace sign. Okay, end the series there, right? Boom, end the series or end the seasonal show, and then go into the movie and let the movie be. And she mentioned it. I mentions when she gets the egg. She's like, I don't know. I don't care how many of these I have to go. I don't care how many souls I have to save. I'm gonna see Neru again, and I'm gonna bring her back. That was good shit. So then, cool. Let's watch that instead of like, okay, say that, and then okay, I'm back, and then that's it. Like, what the fuck happens? That maybe fucking I dies because you could die if you leave the thing without healing your wounds or some shit. Whatever that thing was. They could have done that. Like, they didn't. They left it's not the fact they left us with a question. It's the fact they left us with a question, and they're never going to fucking go back to it. And it's not a matter of like, with Hunter x Hunter where they left us on like not a cliffhanger, but they left us definitely wanting more. And there's definitely an opportunity to give more, but we're not going to get more because the mangaka is sick, right?
Right.
And that is what it is. It's a sad circumstance, but at least we have a reason why it's not going to happen. We have zero reason why this show can't be fully fleshed out and given a decisive conclusion. And that's the real kicker. That's the shit that really, really pisses me off. I like the episode. Other than the recap portion, I like the episode. But I agree with you. I guess they should have waited till they could put all their eggs in this basket, and then they should have been able to tell a decisive end to this. Show us the battle, dude.
Right, yeah, exactly. As I was saying, if they didn't do the recap, they probably could have finished this in 40 minutes.
And I could, you know what I saw? What I could see? I could see Nehru saving a soul, Nehru saving a second soul, and the third egg being I. And or not, sorry, Nehru. And I fights Nehru, and I fights Nehru, I fights Nehru. I is able to defeat Nehru, but she doesn't want to, like, she doesn't want to kill her. She uses the power of friendship to save Nehru. Nehru comes back to her, and then Frill comes out. And the final battle is I and Nehru, the two most important characters of the entire show. I would say definitively the two most definitive characters of the show, right? Against Frill, and for the sake of all teen girls in the world, and let that be a battle. I think that should be a movie the way I just described it. But if you want to do it in like an hour, an hour 2-part season or 2-part episode or some shit, then you could do that too. That's fine. But I just explained how you can end the show, and the way I just explained it, I'm not even trying to be biased. That sounds way better than what the fuck they ended it on, dude. Like, I know.
Anyway.
Sorry, I took up some of your shine.
It's okay. That's okay. That's fine. Anyway, we're gonna get to the actual episode now. It's like you find out Koito slipped and fell, but like this, let me talk about her and the teacher. Okay. First, they said Koito manipulated another teacher beforehand, and that guy killed himself.
Did he? I didn't see that part.
Yeah, that was like the very first. That was the very first thing he talked about.
He killed himself. I didn't see that.
No, not Sasaki.
No. I know. I didn't say that. I didn't see
teacher. The first teacher she manipulated.
I didn't. They said that he killed himself. I saw that part that she manipulated. Wow, I didn't see that.
Drove him to suicide.
That makes Koito even worse.
Exactly. So I'm trying to figure out. So so why? But before that, like we saw hints that there probably was a relationship.
That's all they hinted on.
And then you find out it's not. It's like, what the shit? You left plenty, very strong hits. And he was mad when I asked what happened to Koito. Like, maybe he has something to do with it. And then you find out in the finale, he was a nice guy. It's like, okay, maybe he did too. But it was a parallel world. So whatever he did there, he's not going to do there. Like, I's dead there, she's alive there.
I mean, we don't know. Maybe maybe Sawaki, because the way that Sawaki and I got close.
For all we know, he probably pushed her off.
No, but I was gonna say, if you're talking about parallel worlds, I killed herself. We don't find out how I killed herself. Maybe in that parallel world, Sawaki gets with I's mom, and maybe she's like,
he was seducing I in that world.
Yeah, so then maybe maybe she sexually abused I, and I while she was with I's mom, and she killed herself. I
was saying, like, the fact, like, he was like a pedo in that parallel world for like 10 minutes, and this one you find out he's actually not after all those heavy hints.
Yeah.
You find out, she's probably mad because she wasn't in his painting. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, we find out actually now in the parallel world where Koito hates Ai is that she's jealous of Ai being close to Sawaki, not realizing everything that's gone on. And
yet Koito was close in this one, or trying to get close, and you find out, I'm not going to use you as my model, I'm going to use I. And maybe that's why she was crying. We don't know.
God damn, there's so many questions, dude. And it's fine. I don't mind.
It's just how it wrapped up.
Even I don't mind these questions. The way we're describing it, this is good, like, conversation back and forth. But I don't even mind the way that ended, or that came about. Like, that's not my biggest issue. Like I said, my biggest issue is just.
It's not my biggest issue, but it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I get you.
It's like, come on, like, you left all this just to have it like, it's not a surprise.
Yeah,
that would have been fucking deep. Let's be real.
It would have been. It would have.
If that was like a legit thing, like without the parallel world, that should have not happened. The whole parallel universe type thing, because that went nowhere.
One of the biggest one of the biggest selling points of the series in the story is Ai and Sawaki. Like, I would legitimately feel upset going into like, are we gonna find out that Sawaki raped her? Are we gonna find out that maybe Koito forced herself on her and on him, and Sawaki's like, no, and then that's why Sawaki killed herself, and we find out maybe Koito has been fucking older men or been raped by older men for like whatever happened since childhood, and that's why she thought that like she wanted to force herself on, like kind of like what happens with Higehiro, which we'll talk about later, where you get forced on, and then that's all maybe that's would have happened with Koito. We don't know. And I would always feel nervous going into these episodes, like, oh, we're gonna find out what happened. We're gonna find out what happened. That was one of the biggest selling points of the show. And yeah, I get you, man. It definitely is what the fuck when you put it that way.
Yeah, it's just that's it. Like there's like a lot of stuff that could have made it so much. Like holy shit, like that's just incredibly dark, or that makes sense. But
yeah.
And then Rico, Momo gone. Like it's sad, but at the same time, it's like like most of that summer was fighting these people to save the people that basically ditched them.
I agree, and and I agree. I don't mind Rika's take on the fact I'm not going to risk my life for a robot or for somebody that doesn't really exist. I get that, and I get Momo's standpoint of like, listen, I'm scarred, and at the end of the day, I didn't like get.
She doesn't want to get hurt. That was the simple thing.
And that's a typical.
That's fair.
That's a typical teen response as well as a typical life response, because when you experience enough hurt and anger and sadness, you don't want to experience that. There's no, I mean, you shouldn't have to, but there's no innate desire for anybody to ever want to go through that or continuously go through that. Clearly, she's not a masochist, which is there's nothing wrong with that. And
Rika is.
Rika's a lot of things, but that's
fine. Oh yeah.
Anyway, that's a different topic, and that's probably an inappropriate topic. But in any case. Listen, at the end of the day, like, I didn't mind the girls, and part of my whole movie plot, I would think like, okay, well, as I mentioned, my dream end would be Ai and Neru after Ai fights Neru and almost dies, but is able to save Neru. Then they got to fight Frill, and Frill dominates. They can't fight, and maybe somehow the Akkas get a hold of Rika.
Way to shut her down.
And the girls, all of them unite together, and they apologize later after the fact, but they all unite together to take down Frill. And I could think of so many ways to fucking end it, and they didn't.
Right.
God.
Well, they definitely could have wrapped it up in those 40 minutes about that time.
No, the way we're describing it, there's no way. The more I come up with ways for the story to go to make it better, the less it's going to end in 40 minutes. They need a movie, or they needed another season. That would have been cool too. Maybe another season would be nice.
I say if they did that, then you know what? I'll be okay. We can get more. We can answer the questions. We can find out how it really ends. But the fact that it's not.
Instead of 2 seasons, why don't they make it fucking one long season, 124 episode season? And then they could have had recaps. They could have done episode 1 through 12, recap, and then keep on going. Or slow down some of the episodes where instead of burning through what they burned through, like what they could have done is they could have perhaps gone through and done the story the way they did it, and then at the moment,
more centric episodes of the characters.
And the season finale will be exactly, they could do that, and then the season finale of the core for say they do 2 cores, right? Split core. So core 1 season finale would be the revelation of the mythology aspect, and we see what's it called? Momo's character get fucking split by the thing, and she gets fed it, and she throws up, and all of that. That should have been a really depressing, sad way to end the season, right? And you see the Akka's looking, and Rika's pissed herself, and Momo's like fucking like shook, fucking shaking under the bed.
Yeah,
like she's
can't sleep.
Yeah, and that's a great end to the season. This is core 1 finale. Boom, done. Right? Core 2 finale, or do like a 11.5 or something, right? 12, episode 12, 12.5, whatever you want to do, right? Recap. Boom. One long recap. One episode, full deep episode of just recap. And then start the second core. And the second core becomes what we saw after the fact, where we see I go to the Akkas, and I finds out the story, and then we find out Neru, and they try to tie all that together, and then it leads into this part where what we saw in this episode, and they can even dive further into the episode, and then from there they can go on to the battle. They can extend the battle out a couple episodes. God damn, dude, like, fuck.
I know, that's exactly how I feel. God fucking damn it.
Fuck.
Again, we were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
Dude, like...
We were that close, folks.
And you saw me in the group. I championed this episode in our talk in our Eat the Cake group.
I championed the series to people.
I championed this series to people. And you were there too. You definitely championed it too. But I told people how special it is, how to see girls
how important it was,
how important it is, and I can't relate. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a teen girl. I'm not I'm not gay or like I can't relate to any of that. I've never had suicidal thoughts, like none of that. I can't relate to it. But the way that the show made me feel to see these girls suffer and cry, to hear the stories of a mother that said you should have been happy that you got raped, to see a trans boy come out and find himself, like to see the stories of
and he got raped. That
yeah, and
trans
he
boy,
got
yeah.
raped, and it's like a lot of rape, a lot of parental fucked up shit. Also,
Psychological abuse.
psychological abuse. Just any type of fucked up situation you could think of that would happen to any type of child, let alone a female.
That
Um,
leads to suicide.
that,
Exactly.
that led to suicide, and it just God, it was so emotional. There were so many points in that episode where I would tear up. Or there were so many episodes where I cried. And it touches your soul. If it doesn't touch your soul, then I can't say you don't have a soul, because some people just can't relate to it and it won't hit them the same. But I mean, goddamn, if your heart doesn't break hearing those stories, like if your heart,
mine did multiple times, especially the girls Momo was saving.
yeah, like dude, like if your heart doesn't break hearing a girl say, "My mom said that you should have been happy you got raped," fucking you should kill yourself, bro. Like what the fuck, man? Like that shit that hurts so much. And so the fact that there was an anime out there that was talking on these real life subjects and making you feel these things, and really showing you the reality of how fucked up life is, especially in Japan. There's another aspect of that, of the fact that this happens a lot. It happens across the world a lot, obviously, but the whole point of this happens in Japan. There was one of the episodes where the girls, they with the idolization, right, where I saves the two girls that killed
Right.
themselves. Their favorite singer killed herself.
Yeah,
That
because that was basically Riku's dream. Remember that I just tagged along because she slept next to her.
that was a real life event that happened in the late 1980s in Japan, where there was a beautiful singer and she was super idol, super popular, super famous, and she killed herself. And then there was a thing where a bunch, not just two girls, a bunch of girls followed her because they thought this is what she would want. And a lot of girls killed themselves because of that.
Right.
They brought that up, stupendous. And I mean, we might as well get into like all the other aspects of the series itself. The visualization is some of the best that you'll see. Fantastic uses of real life environments and real life depictions of the environments, and the use of colors, the use of flower language, stupendous, fantastic. The musical compositions, wonderful, will make you feel emotion, will make you hype, will make you cry, will make you upset. It contributes so much to the story. So many wonderful things about this show. Again, we've talked about the story so much, but how powerful it is. I mean, and even though we are saying they could have fleshed out the characters a little bit more, I mean, they already fleshed them out a fuck ton. You know what I mean? You have who was bullied because of the fact that she has the syndrome where she has two different color eyes, a green eye and a blue eye. They bullied her for that. She had no
Yellow and blue.
Yellow and blue. Sorry, yeah, yellow and blue, and they bullied her because of that. We see Momo, who's gay and doesn't understand herself because she wants to.
That's what I mean. It's hinted that that Momo is a transgender girl. That's how when she met that transgender boy.
It's hinted that she's transgender, but then at the end she accepts that she's just gay.
Well, it's a face. She kissed a transgender male. That was the male.
I get well.
That's a face. That's a face. She freaked out because again, she tried. Remember, she tries to date a guy in that same episode, but the guy didn't like her because he thought she was a boy. She was having that identity issue because she kept getting upset that people mistaking her for a male when she's not.
Yeah, well, she kissed a girl. The first girl she kissed was a girl. She was just gay. She thought, no, I'm sorry. The first girl she kissed thought she was a boy. Fell for her, and then she's like, "Well, I'm a girl," and she's like, "Well, that's fine because I love you all the same." They kissed.
Are you talking about when she got her friend back?
2 or 3. No. This is at the beginning. Remember when they're in the train station? This is
yeah, she said, yeah. That's it. They tried to kiss Momo.
So the whole process of it is like they give the indication that Momo is trans, and then in the end, Momo is just gay. Which is fine, no matter how you figure it out. But regardless, the whole story is just a girl trying to figure out whether she's gay, straight, trans, whatever. She's trying to figure that out. We have Rika, who has a terrible relationship with her mother. Her father abandoned her. And she has a fucked up perception of men, and she's a failed idol. She's super superficial, super materialistic, and she suffers because of those traits. And then we have Nehru, an African girl. She's dark skinned, an African girl who's a super genius but doesn't relate to humans and doesn't understand them. Now we understand why she doesn't relate to the emotions that I and Rika felt, because of the fact that, she was not.
So how did she end up in the hospital?
Because she's human. I mean, bro. I mean, when they, what's it called?
I was saying Nehru is. I was saying Nehru's an AI.
Yeah, and
So how'd she get injured? What did the doctor say? Going, oh shit,
they have.
I can't treat you.
Well, they have human properties, remember? And that's why, what's it called? They, whenever remember when the Akkas, they beat up Frill, like they abused her, but she was legit hurt. Like she wasn't gonna die, I don't think, and clearly she didn't die. But I mean, they fucking threw her around, and she's like, it hurts. They register pain.
Well, she had it coming.
And she did, but regardless, though, just because they're AI, they've humanized them. The show has humanized these AIs. It's kind of ironic when you think about it, right? I hate AI things about AIs, and in the end, the show that made me feel so many things centers around AI. At the end, go figure. But in any case, yeah, there's just so many different layers to this show. It's a 5-star show. I mean, if you want to exclude the fact that this special happened where they conclude the show.
Yeah.
I mean, you can end the Wonder Egg priority as it is, and
it'll be the special didn't exist.
And it's still a 5-star show. It's a 5-star show.
Yeah.
It's a 6-star story. It's a 5-star animation. It's a 5-star musical composition. It's 5. It's a 5-star show. I can't recommend it enough, especially if you like psychological stuff, especially if you want to understand and try and get a grasp of the things that teen girls go through, and have a soft spot for hearing really, and are comfortable enough to hear something that uncomfortable, where a girl describes how somebody raped her, or how her mother or their coach abused them, or whatever. If you're comfortable with that, you have to be, because if you're not, then you can't get through the show, because it's just emotional moment after emotional moment, after tears, after pain, after hurt, after suffering, and God, I can't express how wonderful this show is, but I can't also express.
The sad part is with the production, it's going to go down as one of the best clusterfucks.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the problem. But again, a fantastic show that just fell at the very end, and again, it's just it's the producers, the production studio that tortured these guys to give us. Poof.
I hope there's a lot of. I mean, I'm sure I've read online, and I have read online people that have been disappointed with the show. But I mean, I just want there to be like a humongous uproar to where they have to rectify this and give us like an OVA. Maybe give us an OVA of the finale.
Or do like one more 1-hour special, but actually end it.
Yeah, or do like special part 2, something. Like yeah,
exactly.
But or goddamn man.
Fuck, man. We're disappointed, people.
Fuck, bro.
Alrighty. We talked about this series for over 40 minutes.
Because it means that much to us. It
definitely did. This is why it's a 2-parter today.
Yeah, I was just about to say, this is why we have a 2-part episode today.
But we're going to do one more commercial break, and then we're going to talk about the rest of the series before we head into part 2. Give us a minute, people.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey folks, PC Tony here. Thanks to our new partnership with Angry Lemonade, you can save 10% on physical products and digital commissions using the promo code ChairShot. Head to angrylemonade.net to check out their amazing catalog of products and services. Use the promo code ChairShot to save 10%. That's angrylemonade.net.
Tadaima, minasan! That means we're back. Shut the fuck up. Bro, you should appreciate my fucking Japanese, you son of a bitch.
Like, I'm back. Cut this shit.
Fucking. God damn it, bro. I can't even call you a cocksucker like I would normally call other people. Fuck.
Fuck.
Gotta love our chemistry, y'all. Gotta love the chemistry. All right, so we've, like Mathew said, we've talked about this fucking series for 40 minutes. I don't want to really talk about it anymore because we're just going to keep saying fuck a bunch of times.
Yeah, this is going to be the whole episode. It's going to be a 3-parter at this point.
The rest of the shows that we have to watch, you said you've got 1 and I've got 2, right?
Yeah, let's go with the Spider first.
No, okay, whatever. All right, well, that's fine. We can interchange. So I concluded, so I'm a Spider, so what, finally. The season finale was delayed about a week and a half or so due to production issues, none specified. I mean, you can probably have an idea of what it was. But in any case, it was delayed. It came out this past Saturday. Finished it. Let me just review the series as a whole. The series is great. It's an isekai. Let me break down the story. I guess it's basically about a high school classroom. After a freak magical accident, they all die. It's like a huge magical explosion. They all perish, and they're all reincarnated in a different world. They're all reincarnated at different points. Most of them are humans. One of them becomes an elf. One of the boys becomes a girl, which is kind of funny, but she's actually really good. And our main character becomes a spider. Kumo-chan, her name in the in human terms is Wakaba, and she becomes a spider. She's born 15 years in the past, or 15 years ahead, basically, of the other reincarnations. And so we see, basically, and one of the most unique things about the anime is the fact that they give two different timelines. You see Kumo-chan's timeline of her trying to survive as a spider and her growing, and she becomes super fucking OP. Like, she's ridiculously, insanely OP. She is fucking amazingly powerful. Like, she can fucking beat a demon lord powerful. And at the end of the day, we see our second timeline is one of the other characters. His name is Shun. I forget his Japanese name. I think it's Shun. His Japanese name is Shun. But he's called Schlain in the what's it called, in that world, because he's a prince. He becomes the hero after his brother, the current prince, dies at the hands of the and we'll find out, I guess, in season 2 how he dies. I don't know whether it's the demon lord. Actually, I don't know. I think it's no. Does he die? Fuck. There's so many different layers. I can't, without spoiling it, I can't really reveal that. But in any case, the series as a whole is fabulous because of that whole dual thing. Throughout the season, we see the timelines intertwine as we see Kumo-chan develop. We go back into the present time, which is the hero's timeline, and we see how their war is happening. And then at the end of the season, we see the revelation of how Kumo-chan and the Demon Lord, how they get together, and we see the beginnings of some of the other reincarnations, and we start seeing the pieces together of how the present was affected by the past. And when it's all said and done, I'll say this much: the bad guys are the good guys, and the good guys are the bad guys. And that's actually a really wonderful turn. That's a crazy double turn. We talk about double turns in wrestling terms. You never see hardly double turns in anime. So that's actually very unique. As a whole, I gave the show a 4 out of 5. Due to the uniqueness. It's very comical. There's a lot of funny scenes as well. The musical composition is pretty okay. Like, it's not shitty, but it's not the greatest. Animation's okay, not the best, not the shittiest at all. Yeah, I would definitely give it a solid 4 out of 5. If you like isekais, if you like OP characters, if you like a complicated story, but a unique story, definitely would recommend watching So I'm a Spider, So What. As I mentioned with the revelation at the end of season 1, there definitely will be a season 2. Again, I hear nothing but positives when it comes to the manga, so if you want to check that out, you can. And I'm very much looking forward to season 2 whenever that happens. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later.
All right, very good. So that one is done. Now I guess it's my turn. Shadow's House. That series has ended. I don't know if it's going to be a season 2 yet, but we'll get to that. Kicked off where Edward found Kate and Emilico together in the room. Edward's trying to dispose of the shadows, and you see John come to the aid. Good old John. Nice boy. That shadow is. No, he's like, I'm going to take the baits. Like, I'm going to get caught by these guys while you guys fly off. And Emilico and Kate do. And you see John use his suit to push Kate towards the building more so they can land safely. He didn't die, though, folks. So it's okay. John's good in that regard. And then you see Edward chasing after them. And you find out that they're in the child's wing, where they are. And he's not supposed to be there. So, like, he's only supposed to be the certain. He's only set for a certain floor as supervision. But the fact he told other shadows, like the higher ups, to keep an eye on that wing, he got caught because he was going to go. Who's going to believe me? Who's the grandfather going to believe me or a bunch of kids?
Uh-huh.
And it turns out all the people on that floor were like, "Hey, what are you doing here? And what are you saying about teaching them a lesson in this wing?" And so he's like, "Ah, shit! Like he can't get out of this one. He's
He's
caught." So I think we lost him, folks.
Oops. Nope, I'm on mute now. Hello, do you hear me?
I hear you now.
How do I sound in comparison to like 2 seconds ago?
Less staticky.
Oh my god, dude. This whole fucking time it hasn't been on. Like these last few episodes. Oh, good god. I don't know whether we should edit this out or not, but this is the what I deal with. I have a professional mic and it doesn't pick up on Skype. So, yeah. Hi guys. This is me with an actual microphone instead of hearing it from my laptop like apparently has been fucking recording this whole time. Jesus Christ, bananas, dude. I'm sorry for interrupting Shadow's house.
It's all right.
Anywho. Fuck. Good
Alrighty.
God.
Edward and his little goons are on the third floor, and Highers are like, "You should be exiled, never to return." And the grandfather was like, "He can stay. It's his last chance." And then he's like, "You're right. I'm gonna go." He's demoted to the first floor. Like, all right, as you wish. I thank you for giving me this one last chance. And you find out when he leaves, he's not gonna give up. That type of thing. And it turns out that the shadows don't tell the humans like, "Hey, you guys are real." Like they do their lives normally with with them as quote unquote dolls, living dolls, serving the shadows. They live that life normally, and they're like, "Oh, I wonder who saved us this whole time." Because Rom had a little finger puppet. That was like a suit. So and that thing was apparently aiding her. So you basically find out that's real. But that's how the season ends. I didn't expect much going in, but I'm glad I watched it after my friend recommended it. Definitely great characters, interesting story. The shadows and then the humans in general, the counterparts, how the shadows are made essentially. And yeah, I hope there's a season 2. I can't wait for that. Definitely a 4 out of 5.
Good. That sounds watchable.
All right. Don't you have fruits baskets left?
Oh my god. I'm so glad I fixed my mic for this so you guys can hear me so clearly when I talk about fruits baskets. Fruits baskets, ladies and gentlemen, is a standard bearer for slices of life. If you enjoy slice of life anime, I cannot behoove you enough to pick up fruits baskets and to watch it and enjoy it. Fruits baskets to me now after what, and I said this a few weeks ago when I said Violet Evergarden is the best ending to a series. Nah, it's great, but it's not fruits baskets, man. Like I was 5 episodes behind for the last few weeks, and so I spent my whole Friday in between work watching fruits baskets. And not since I watched Bunny Girl Senpai the movie, and not since I watched Clannad have I bawled, absolutely hysterically bawled watching a fucking anime. The ending is so powerful. The series is just so rich, and it's just the way everything fell into place was absolutely stupendous. There's 3 seasons of Fruits Basket, season 1, season 2, and then the finale. Season 1 I gave 4.5. I gave 4 stars. Season 2 and season 3 I gave 5 stars. If I could give season 3 6 stars, I would fucking give it 6 stars because it's just so incredible. Throughout the series, throughout the seasons, the musical compositions are incredible and lead so much to the characters. The way that they take 3 seasons to make you feel these characters, to make you try and understand them, and to make you invest. And the way they made me invest in these characters was just fucking amazing. That's why I was able to cry so hard watching the ups and the downs and the confusion and the scariness and the confessions, and god damn, it was fucking incredible. You'll see in our 5.5 episode when we talk about our seasonal awards. For me, Fruits swept a lot of them. I know for Mathew because he didn't watch it and he watched Vivi. Vivi swept a lot of his. You'll see. Spoiler alert.
Hey! Don't spoil like a manga reader you are there.
I'm sorry.
Watches.
I'm sorry, but because it's just I I can't come up with the right words to tell you guys how amazing of a show it is. I truly can't. You guys, again, a standard bearer for all slices of life anime. To me, the single best conclusion to a television series that animated television series I've ever seen. Positive, definitive, happy. Oh my God, it's just fuck, bro. Like, again, I cried every episode, crying, just fucking. It hurt. It beautifully hurt. It was so fucking incredible. And I sound like a complete bitch right now the way I'm talking about it, and I don't even care because it made me so goddamn happy to see such a show ending, and it made me so depressed to know a show like that is ending. I fuck, dude, like. It was so sensational. I can't recommend enough. I cannot recommend it enough. I cannot recommend it enough. Please, if you like slices of life, if you like romance, if you like comedy, because there are very, very much very comedic aspects to the different episodes or the different parts of the series. It's great, and they even have representation. One of the characters likes to cross dress. Another character is forced into cross dressing, basically, but by the end of the episode, comes out and lives her true self as her born gender. It's oh god damn, dude, it's so fucking incredible, so incredible, and we see that Vivi and Fruits are leading this season by a country mile. It's well deserved. As far as I'm concerned, Fruits is the number one without a doubt. You haven't seen it, so you can't give that perception.
Yeah,
I would love.
I do want to watch it though. I trust me, I really do.
I would love to hear your thoughts because you gave Vivi all the awards. I would love to hear your thoughts once you. I'm gonna ask you that once you finish watching Fruits. I want you to think back. To
I will talk about. I will talk about Fruits briefly. When I do catch up. Those 65 episodes.
It's fucking incredible, and it is a little long, but it's not that bad, y'all. It is 48 episodes and then 13 episodes, I think, right? I think it's 26, that's 52, and then
20. No, it was 25, 25, and then 13.
Okay, so 63.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, what? I am on vacation, but so I'm gonna try to watch as much as I can.
Yeah, I mean, if you just get through season 2, you'll see all the amazingness. Let alone season 3. Season 2 was 5 stars, and season 3 was fucking at least 2 to 3 times better than season 2. And that season 2 was 5 stars. So that should tell you all you need to know about the type of show. As far as I'm concerned,
I'm definitely excited for it.
I behoove you to the utmost to watch this show if you like any type of emotion and slices of life and things of that nature.
As a matter of fact, I do. So.
Cannot recommend it enough. I could talk about it all day. I'll talk about it. I'm sure I'll talk about it. You know what? I am going to talk about it when we get to our seasonal rewards because we're going to break down why.
Yeah, we'll go for that in like probably in about an hour, more or less.
Our time. Jesus Christ. But yeah, man, can't recommend it enough. All right, I'm good. I'll delve into more of the specifics when we go into the awards and why I chose them, because a lot of the awards I chose are Fruits Basket. Spoiler alert, y'all. So
alrighty,
let's go ahead. Let's go into the ones that we watched together.
All right, first off, we're gonna do Regular Ragnarok. Netflix first.
Oh yeah, I completely. Did I delete it? I think I deleted it.
You did delete it. You son of a bitch.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I finished Record of Ragnarok. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I probably enjoyed it more than you enjoyed it because you read the manga. I haven't read the manga. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, I didn't mind the animation nearly as much as you. It could have been better, but I didn't hate it at all.
Aside from the animation, it's great.
Yeah, like
that just brought it down by a lot of points.
Yeah,
I didn't hate it. It's just,
I mean, to say it brought it down a lot of points, that kind of means you hate it.
No, it didn't bring it down like a lot. Like it wasn't like I give it out of 10. I would give it a 6.5. If they fixed the animation, this probably would have been an easy 9.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh wait,
so it went down like 2 points. It went down like 2 points. Yeah,
you're giving this show a 6.5 out of 10.
Yes.
I gave it a 3 out of 5, so it's about the same.
Yeah, it's about a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 5. The animation itself wasn't a killer for me though. The things that killed me were there was so many attempts at comedy, and they were not necessary. I understand putting some comedy in there, but sometimes it was just so dumb. It was just so unnecessary. I didn't like the type of comedy. It wasn't funny to me most of the time. I was like, shut the fuck up. I just want to see more fights. So that sucked. The animation, like I said, could have been better, but not bad at all. Musical composition, I have no complaints over. And then I guess the only other thing I could think of is the fights. You know what I mean? Like the fights, just there was literally 4 episodes of fight. And I understood that they needed to take time to explain some of the mythological aspects of the characters or the story, the backstories behind the human characters. Like I got that, and I understood that probably would be at least an episode or so. But I mean, it kind of felt like a Dragon Ball Z thing, dude, where it just kind of dragged. And it's like, bro, like what the fuck? Like literally, you'd see 4 episodes worth of fucking show. 4 episodes times 23 is what? Over an hour, basically, per fight. And when you look at the final like thing, it said, oh, this person defeated this person. Fight time 13 minutes 7 seconds. Like what? We went through 4 episodes for 13. Another one, like we went through like 7 minutes. We went through like fucking an hour for 7 minutes. Yeah. Like, god damn, dude. I mean, but other than that, like I enjoyed it. It's very gory. If you like gore, watch it. It's very gory. Fight scenes when they were animated well were animated really fucking well. Fucking
I loved Adam. I still love Adam.
Yeah, Adam was fantastically done. Adam was a gangster. Adam is a gangster. That's all I'm gonna say. Adam is a gangster. Poseidon was really good. Zeus was hit or miss. Like, you know, he had his points, but I mean, you know,
Saki was cool.
Yeah, he was cool. Yeah, dude. And it ends with the next fight. With Jack the Ripper, which I'm curious about. By the way,
I love Jack the Ripper.
The top hat monocle suit combination, like cloak combination. Oh god, that's fucking fire.
Oh, you're gonna wait. I love this. I love this.
Oh god damn.
When this fight happens, you're gonna love it. I love Jack the Ripper in this, and I love Heracles too. It's like you don't want any one of them to lose. So
yeah, dude.
Heracles is such a nice guy in this. You know, he's a dick in real mythology.
Yeah. Oh, so they made him like Disney, kind of sort of.
Even in Disney, it's fucking fake. He was a fucking adulterer, and he'd rather burn himself than admit he cheated on his wife.
But no, I enjoyed it. It was good. Not gonna disparage it. If you like mythology, if you like gore, if you like fighting anime, I think when I mentioned it, and I think somebody else mentioned it, it has tones to like Kengan Ashura, which is one of the best fighting Netflix series that they've got, and one of the best fighting animes, recent like new fighting series that you could watch. So, it's got undertones of that. So if you want to watch that, that's cool. Again, history, mythology, fantastically done. Gore, plenty. So definitely, if you want to watch that, definitely watch it. Yeah, for sure. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, but it's a solid 3 for sure. Definitely a solid 3. Definitely would put it on a watch list for sure.
All right. Well, hopefully they improve on stuff in season 2. So we will find out as again Jack the Ripper versus Heracles. All right. The Netflix is over. Let's go with the average one first. Osamake. All right, this was cute. Like the series as a whole, it wasn't like perfect. It was just a generic harem rom-com. Just the childhood friend won't lose. They broke the rule. They broke the rules. They always lose.
And 3 of them lost. Well, none of them have lost because the season finale there was no definitive loser.
Yeah, and we had to see the unnecessary underskirt penny shot from the maid.
Yes, we did for sure.
We didn't need it there.
I mean, the character.
She was annoying as it is. I don't like that character at all. She ate a dick.
Yeah.
But they showed Kuro's side of the story in the documentary. This how much they grew up together with
They made her human. They made Kuro.
They did that. Like how much they took care of him when his mother died. Haru was like, okay, well, why did you really do that to the amnesia? Why'd you reject me? And he's like, oh, is this you did it to me? I did it back, and I hate it though. So sorry.
That sucked. Yeah, not a fan of it.
Yeah, but
and then they came out with a best. They basically came out with a friends with benefits thing.
Yeah, but not the sexual kind. The platonic kind. Like, hey, like I'm mentally dating you. Like, it's not no commitment. If you take a long to answer for a certain time, that means we know it's not going forward right away. But if I'm unhappy, I'm leaving. That's it.
So dumb.
And whoever you pick, I'm cool with it at this
Are
point.
they seniors in high school?
I would hope so. There's only like 3 years of high school, right?
Yeah. So I think they're like juniors.
I believe they're juniors. Like they have one more year of high school left.
Why don't you just fuck? Just fuck.
Fuck off.
Kuro definitely wants to fuck, and fucking.
They all do, Maria especially.
Yeah, they all want to fuck. Just fuck, dude. Get it over with. Let's make it ecchi. Or let's make it like Horimiya. Horimiya implied that they had sex and didn't show the sex or talk about the sex, but it was definitely implied.
In the webcomic, it confirmed that they had sex.
Well, yeah, because
Horimiya, yeah.
Yeah, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I forgot who it was that I think it was Dair from our group. Shout out Dair. Dair is a super Horimiya fan. He's the one who told me, I think in the web novel that they I think it's fucking this guy's best friend, Miyamura's best friend, talks about like, oh, did you comment her? And he's like, "Shut the fuck up," even though he did. So
yeah, we know they had sex. Let's be real.
Yeah,
everyone knew it. Everyone, and their mother knew it.
Good for him.
But yeah, just go like this. But just go like this. Just have sex with all 3 of them, and whoever the best one was, that's your winner.
Oh, I don't think Maria's not gonna win.
No. I'm sure she knows skills.
Bro, she's the youngest one. She's the youngest one. She's the youngest one. She's like fucking. Yeah,
but the Daesan Oni-chan somehow always works.
Oh, God damn! Why are we talking about this? Fucking Japan. God.
I know.
God damn.
I still say, Show Tucker should combine all 3 of them. My plan still works.
No, it would be the perfect girl. It would be the perfect waifu if you combine all 3 of them. But it doesn't
exactly. But we're not doing it that way apparently.
Yeah, if you had done that, then the show might have been like a 2 out of 5 instead of a 3 out of 5.
What was it? Which one's the friend? The boy? Was it Kai?
Tetsuhiko.
Okay, like he's still like, I'm still the villain in this somehow.
Yeah, basically. I'm so curious.
He's like really like not.
Yes, Tetsuhiko is this guy's best friend, and then I think Kai is the one who was trying to get with Shiro, and it was all ploy all along. I mean, I'm so curious to know their relationship. I guess
Mitsuru was the one that
I don't know their names.
That went to date Shiro to get Haru.
Yeah, I don't.
Tetsuhiko's the one that's the friend. Is like,
yeah, he's the best friend.
Oh yeah, this is all a plan for me. Like I'm gonna watch who Haru fucks, and then. I'm gonna go. I'm in this group to get back at a company that rejected me, type of thing.
I'm very curious to see how it goes. I mean, the way they left it off, it seems like there'll be a season 2 at some point. So
right,
looking forward to it. But I'll watch it for sure. But I don't know. I gave it a 3 out of 5. It was okay. I didn't hate it at all. Like I said, I always break down things like story. Story was
it's standard. It's standard.
Yeah. It's a standard anime. The story is unique, so I'll give it that. Musical composition is okay, nothing wrong with it. Animation's okay, nothing wrong with it. It's a cute show. I'm not gonna put it. It definitely didn't make our top 10 of the year. But yeah, it was cool. So let's get on to 2 of the shows that were in our top 10. Pretty high as well. Spoiler alert. They are pretty high in our top 10.
Stop spoiling like this.
I can't help it.
Let's just give them some sort of anticipation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not telling them what number they are.
All right, well, let's go with Nagatoro.
Let's go with Nagatoro. Well, actually, no. I don't know, man. Should we? Well, you know what? No, we both agree.
We'll close with Higehiro.
So for me, I'm the opposite. When I watch these shows, I watch Fruits, and then I watch Higehiro first, then I watch Fruits, because I wanted to get all the sad stuff out the way, and then I wanted to conclude my spring season with something happy, other than Ragnarok, but I wanted to finish it with something happy. So I chose Nagatoro, and I don't regret that decision. Nagatoro was hilarious, and wouldn't you fucking know that toward the end of the show, they gave us an actual story instead of like the adventures of Nekotoro and fucking Simp Boy. Instead, it was fucking an actual story that they gave us toward the end with the what's it called? The president, who's a little whore. She's a little whore. She's a major whore.
She's an exhibitionist.
Yeah, she's an exhibition. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying exhibitionists are whores. Some of them are, but not all of them. But no. So they gave us a story with Nagatoro and the gang of all people too, helping him to beat the president. The president now has to keep the art club open after she threatened to close it down because Paizen was friends with Nagatoro and the bunch. And yeah, it was fantastic. I laughed so hard at those final 5 episodes. There were definitely points on each episode where I was fucking dying laughing because it was so fucking great. I had so much fun enjoying it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Reason being is some of the story is it's just a bit too cringe for me. But there's nothing wrong with it at the end of the day. It's not a fucking Rent a Girlfriend where it's fucking all super duper uber cringe. And I hated that.
But I still like Rent a Girlfriend.
I didn't mind it. I'm gonna watch season 2, but I'm not gonna fucking sing its praises. Anyway, so
but Gamo is quite the manipulator type.
Yeah, Gamo is definitely type.
Oh my god, like
Gamo,
she's great, but damn, man, Yoshi's a kiss ass.
Yeah, Yoshi's Yoshi, and then the other girl,
Sakura.
She's a whore. She's definitely a whore. The gamer club definitely ran a train on her ass. Definitely, they're definitely fucking shooting fucking Seki from Chimpo, bro, for sure.
All right. Anyway, the finale was. I'm ignoring you. I'm ignoring you, damn it.
I love how I threw you off for a second. You're like, all right, let me just ignore. Anyway, the finale.
All right. Anyway, the finale. I thought this was cute. The fact that Nagatoro was bullying these students just to get them to visit the exhibit, and Naruto got jealous at that. Like, hey, she teased me this so long, and you're doing it to someone else. I don't like that. So I want to see that little bit of jealousy. And Nagatoro did the same thing when they were praising Naruto for his drawings.
Yep.
They definitely do care.
They do, and it's very nice as a whole. I cannot wait for a season 2. And I hear that the manga picks up tremendously after the.
It does, and then you see Nagatoro giving Naruto a kiss at the end of the credits.
It was so cute
on the cheek. It's like, oh, there we go.
Not on the lips, not on the chimpo, just on the cheek.
That's fine. No nipple yet. She can twist it. She can twist the nipples, but not kiss him yet.
Yeah, well, it's crazy that it's crazy if Paizen really put his foot down, he could do whatever the fuck with Nagatoro. But then it would definitely kill the show because then Nagatoro would be like, I'm not interested anymore. Like her whole thing is the whole psychological abuse thing. That's exactly her thing.
But turns out she actually cares about him.
Yeah, which is really, really, really nice. So, I gave it a solid 4 out of 5. For sure. It was just fucking hilarious. And there wasn't much of a story to it. That's another reason why I didn't give it a 5 out of 5. There isn't a lot of story to it except toward the last 4 episodes, and I guess we'll see how season 2 progresses.
Yeah. My only complaint was, again, there were times the bullying felt a little too much. Like there was this way over the top.
Same for sure. That's why I can't give it a 5.
It wasn't I think Uzaki had the perfect balance. In terms of teasing.
Okay.
In terms of teasing.
Yeah, that definitely felt better. It really felt like 2 homies. Like when you watch Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, it definitely felt like 2 homies. Here, it just feels like a twisted, sick love / fucking kink.
And yeah, him secretly enjoying it.
Yeah, and him secretly enjoying it. That's why he ends up falling for her, which is crazier. But I mean, hey, we don't kink shame. Well, no, there's certain kinks I'm gonna shame. But
no, unless you're Josuke and Koichi when they kink shame Kira the whole time. Poor guy. He just wanted a quiet life, but no, he likes hands. Pervert. Kill yourself. And he died.
Yeah. By the way, just unrelated to this. Sorry, I was closing my blinds. Unrelated to this, and we'll talk about this next week. When we go over our spring season. But I just wanted to point out that the Duke of Death and his maid definitely has Nagatoro vibes to a certain extent, and we'll delve into it next week. But I just want to throw it out there.
We're definitely gonna talk about Duke of Death and Girlfriend as some of our. Definitely great for the summer so far.
Yeah, it's a good summer so far. It's not as good as spring, but hey, not bad at all. So I just want to throw that out there for something for you guys to anticipate. So for those who like Nagatoro, if you want to watch something during the spring season, during the summer season, you can watch Duke of Death and His Maid. I think that'll be a wonderful substitute for you while you wait for a season 2, whenever that is, of Nagatoro.
Alrighty, now we're gonna close off part 1 with our last series. Higehiro. Oh my god.
Emotional and powerful. So I want to ask you just off the bat, how do you feel about the ending? Do you think it was well done, or do you think they should have been a definitive conclusion?
Well, that's the thing. This was how the light novel ended.
Yeah. So are you comfortable with what's it called, with them getting together? It's implied that they're gonna get together, but
let's say they are, because they most likely are.
Yeah.
So we'll go with that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Again, she's an adult now. She made her own choice. Even after those 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go to Yoshida.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
I will say, by the way, that sex that they probably will end up having must be fucking incredible. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie though. Sayu has a great body.
Yeah, she has a fantastic body, bro. Like,
exactly.
I probably would have been one of those dirtbag pieces of shit that probably would have smashed her if I would have.
I still would have waited until she was older.
I mean, I
would have been Yoshida, basically.
I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could have been Yoshida, bro. Like, I could have. I felt like there would have been. I would have tried to find a way to be Yoshida and still fuck, but that's not the purpose of it. And that's quite you think about it. But in any case,
anyway, at the same time, like, in those 2 years, he didn't date Goto or Mishima.
Well, Mishima never had a shot. But
I'm saying, no, they both shared the feelings, and he still said no.
In the manga, is it expressed, like, what happens? I know that. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that in the news. By the way, it was also announced after the Higehiro finale that they're going to come out with a spin-off series for Mishima and Goto. So that'll be a spin-off manga. And so light novel. Sorry. So we're looking forward to that. And it happens during the it's supposed to happen during the time frame after the end of the series. So basically this is going to happen after Sayu comes back to Tokyo to be with Yoshida. And again, it's implied at this point. I guess we'll find out for sure in that novel what happens.
What happened in those 2 years.
Yeah, what happened in those 2 years and what'll happen going forward. So we're basically speculating. It's basically implied that they end up getting together, that Yoshida ends up waiting for Sayu. Sayu comes back, waits for Yoshida, and they live a happy life together. The season finale, by the way, for those who don't know, again, like I said, very emotional. Sayu, you know what? We didn't really review it much because I was so behind on it.
Right.
Basically,
because I didn't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, you don't want to spoil it for me because it was really good. So let's go back and rewind some. So basically, throughout the series, we see what's it called? Sayu's brother actually isn't a piece of shit. He's a really, really, really good guy. Really cares about Sayu. Was really appreciative of Yoshida. Appreciative that he didn't fuck her, and appreciative of the fact that, like, he was there as a father figure for her because of the fact that her father had left her because her father was a whore. So and at the end, it's also implied during the season finale that he's totally accepting of Sayu and Yoshida being together, and Yoshida like, no, she's young. I don't like young girls. I like girls that are older than me. Da 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 da. And even her brother's like, love has no age, which definitely brought up Kokimo vibes, which I wasn't a fan of. But the way that this was done, I was far more accepting of this than Koikimo was. Which, by the way, unrelated to that, there's a lot of positivity on Koikimo. I was really surprised. I thought more people would be like me and fucking hate it.
Again, outside of that, there was a lot of good. If you took that whole thing out of the equation, there was still a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I agree, but I just expect more hate because I gave it more hate. But in any case, I digress. Sayu's brother takes Sayu back to Hokkaido. And at the end, Yoshida's like, you know what? I'm gonna go with you so I can be there for you. So he takes off work and he goes over to their house, a beautiful mansion where they were at. And Sayu's mom is a fucking bitch, a complete, absolute, horrible fucking mother. Like, this woman should have fucking been the one to walk out of her fucking Sayu's life, and it would have made everybody's life so much better if she fucking did. She is a complete and absolute cunt face. Like, she needed to get fucking kicked in the pussy so fucking bad. I hated that bitch. Like, I could keep going about how much she was a fucking bitch. Oh my fucking god, terrible, terrible fucking woman. Terrible, horrible mom. If you want to watch something on how to be a shitty mom and what not to do as a mother, watch that cunt, because she'll tell you everything you need to know about how not to be a mom. In any case, it's really sad and besides angering, as you can tell, it's just very sad in general that that's the environment that Sayu had to grow up in, and it's no wonder that she left. Yoshida
in a moment, he's about to throw the fucking glass at her face, which I wish he would have done anyway. But he doesn't.
He calmed himself. He knew if he did that would have been bad. That would have been bad.
He would have definitely gone to jail for that and for Masayu if he had done that. But he
That's
doesn't.
all,
and instead, he politely, in the most beautiful, gracious way, told this woman how much of a shitty person she is and a shitty mom, and you can't, just like a child can't choose the parents they have, a parent can't choose the child she has, and just a wonderful soliloquy about parenting, about being there for a child and having them develop into a fine, upstanding human being and someone productive in society. And he gets down on his hands and knees and begs her for her acceptance and to have Sayu live with them and not give her shit, and it definitely affects her. She's still a complete cunt, but it definitely affects her views, and it ends up being a happy ending where Sayu and her mom have an actual productive conversation for the first time. And then as the episodes end, as you keep going throughout the season, that night, Yoshida goes to bed, relieved at the fact that he did his good deed. He's supposed to go back to Tokyo the next day per his mother. He's like, I don't want to be around you. I don't want to see you. Just leave. Okay, cool. No problem. And Sayu crawls into bed. And Sayu's like, listen, I don't want to ever forget you. Do you want to fuck one more time? And like throws her pussy at him. And he's like, nope. Through the end, he thick and through. Nope. He's definitely horny, but he's like, nope, cannot do it. I'll never forget you. And they end up sleeping together, but in very wholesome way. They fall asleep, and it was a wonderful end to that part. They take him to the airport. Yoshida has that conversation with Sayu's brother, as I discussed earlier. And then Yoshida and Sayu have a conversation before he boards the plane. About how, I love you, you should wait for me, like, no, I'm not gonna wait for you, I'll be an old man if I do, which is a funny line, compared to Koikimo. Again, there was a lot of comparisons to that. But yeah, basically it's a very heartfelt moment between them. But you can definitely tell there's some sort of feelings there for sure. And then we see like the time skip happen over the 2 years where Sayu graduates from high school after she's left behind. Yoshida continues to do great along with Mishimiya and Goto and his best friend. And then at the end, after he comes home late from work one day, he's going home, and as he's going home, he sees a girl in the corner where he picked up Sayu. Lo and behold, it's Sayu, and he cries, and he wipes his tears, and he smiles, and he walks up to Sayu, and they have basically a reenactment of what happens with when they got together, and that's how the series ends. And it ends with, next time, let me stay with you for the night, like one of those things. And it caused a lot of confusion because of the fact that people thought like, oh, there's going to be a season 2. But like,
I know that's it. That's how it ended.
But like I usually alluded to, like this is that's how the light novel ended, and we find out later on as well. As I mentioned, they announced that they're going to do the spin-off series. So we're going to see more of them for sure. That's kind of like a silver lining for this series. That we're going to see more of Goto and Mishimiya and how they move on. Perhaps, or maybe they have a competition with Sayu. We don't know. We'll see. How they work that out. But in any case, it was very, very wholesome. I gave the story 5 stars. I gave the show 5 stars, I should say. The story was phenomenal. Well done, well told. It was great. The romance portion, although again creepy considering it's a 26-year-old salaryman and a 16-year-old girl, given the way they presented it, was way more acceptable in this instance for me than it was for Koikimo, despite the fact both are just, by American standards immoral, but by Japanese standards completely acceptable. So that is what it is. I mean, you take that out. But beyond that, musical composition, fantastic. Animation, fantastic. Especially how they animated the scenes with the stars when they have the conversations under the stars, under the lights, looking into each other's eyes. It very, very well done. It makes you feel in the moment, makes you feel all the more emotional. Yeah, dude, gave it 5 stars.
Yeah, about the same. I loved it as a whole. A lot of emotional moments, a lot of enjoyable characters, except for the mom, but. But yeah, it did leave some questions like what happened, like why he didn't choose Goto or Mishima this whole time. So yeah, we'll probably find out in the spin-off light novel. Definitely a sad ending, like when Yoshida was home alone.
Yeah,
they go, yeah. It's like damn, I'm the one that's acting like a child.
Because he missed her cooking, missed her being there doing the chores.
Yeah, the fact that he
missed her company. He missed her company.
And now he was alone.
And it speaks not only to that particular situation in the anime, but just in general, how you take for granted people's company whenever they're not around, or when they were around and they're gone. I could definitely think of what it was like to live with a housemate, and it ended on sour terms at the time, and I was like, oh, good riddance, I'm by myself. But then you definitely find yourself in those moments where you're like, fuck,
oh.
man. Yeah, you think about the moments that there's so many parts of the house that are, or like wherever you live, that are ingrained with that particular person, and the moments you shared and the laughter you had, and it definitely will touch you from that standpoint. So it definitely spoke to a human reaction to how it's like. They mentioned that that basically that 12 episodes is done over the course of 6 months. So basically she lived with Yoshida for 6 months before she went back. So
right.
Yeah, it's crazy how such a short time will change your world forever. So definitely,
I agree.
That spoke to me.
But and with that, this will close our spring recap, and we're gonna end part 1 right here. Join us in just a bit as we could do part 2 as we do our spring awards before officially bringing the season to a close. So we'll be right back, people. So stay tuned for part 2.
Before we go out, just in case, we hope you guys stick around for part 2. I guess because again we're going into that, but in case you aren't, let's just do our we'll do it twice. We'll do our plugs. So go ahead and then do your plugs real quick so we can.
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at DamianPhoenix12. I am on there as you. We do this podcast. I'm also part of Suwama Station, where I review All Japan's tours for the month with results.
Shout out to Jake Lee, by the way. I saw the Jake Lee match finally. That that 3-way battle between him and I was gonna say Nakajima.
Yuma and Kento
Miyahara. Yeah, it was a good match. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was good.
I gave it 4.25.
You gave it 4.25. I gave it 4.5.
I was gonna say it would have been a 5 if Yuma beat Kento.
Yeah, and I heard that when the way you described that, I was like, that makes sense. I probably would have done the same. Makes sense.
Because he should be considered an equal at this point. The fact that he's not is like, this is why people don't take him seriously.
Right.
He needs that big win, beat Kento, make him tap out, then coming close to beating Jake, but at the very last minute, Jake finds a way to win. Boom, Yuma's a star-making performance. Boom, he's out, and then you have Jake and Kento as your last match with Jake winning.
Yeah, no, that would have made total sense. And this is just an example of what you can hear on Mathew's podcast when we talk about All Japan Pro Wrestling.
Alrighty. After that, I am a writer for the Chair Shots, but we are also, as of right now, I'm doing this podcast for Chair Shot Radio. So shout out to them. Definitely check out their stuff at thechairshot.com, where you find all their podcasts. Pod is War is one of them. I did a guest appearance or 2 on there from like last year or so. And Ethan, your plugs.
Yeah, shout out to Sean. Sean from our group. He's also hosting our podcast on W2M Network, the original one that we were on before we got on to Chair Shots. So shout out to Sean. We appreciate him and his editing skills as well. Definitely helping us and helping you guys cut this shorter, so you guys aren't going crazy. Yeah, so my plugs, you can catch me on Twitter at SHOSTOPPA24, Showstopper24. You can catch me on my Instagram at IAI_anime 24. There you can find my more detailed reviews. I write each reviews. I'm up to my 10th seasonal review. So you can catch me on there as well. And you can, on that same iAnime24, there's a link tree. You can catch me on my other podcast. Shout out to Orlando Tragic Podcast. We're available on SoundCloud and Spotify. Look up the Orlando Tragics Podcast, where I shoot the shit with my boy B Ronan. You can also catch me on my MMA podcast, MMA for Marks. We're on a bit of a hiatus right now due to scheduling conflicts and equipment issues from my host, but we will be back and we will be talking MMA and boxing pretty soon. And I'm looking forward to getting that content back out to you guys. And you can find all my socials and other things on that same link tree as well. For anything else that you may want to inquire me or us about. Also, if you want to join our group, Eat the Cake Anime, you can search us up on Facebook. We are an open group, Eat the Cake Anime. I actually just recently added a question on the page. If you request to join us, did you hear about us from Talk to Keki? Please answer yes or no. If you do answer yes, I will definitely make it known that, hey, We have people that listen to our show.
Yay!
Yay! All right, guys. With that note, I'm done with my plugs. So let's go ahead and cut this off. This is part one of the podcast this week. This is the conclusion of the spring 2021 season. We're going to go into the seasonal awards next on episode 5.5. So stay tuned to that, y'all.
All righty.